G'day guys, welcome back to Tradio Podcast, proudly powered by TradeTools. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Brad. I myself am a tradie, but I've recently hung up the tool belt to bring you guys podcasts and videos courtesy of TradeTools. So in this podcast, I interview tradies and people at different stages in their careers and from all walks of life. So whatever you're doing today, whether you're flat out or just kicking back, we'd like to say thanks for listening to Tradio and enjoy. We're recording. We're live.
Here with Madman Brad and Jacob the Chippy, mate.
We got another chippy in, but Jacob's mature age apprentice, which is kind of interesting to talk about, you know, because a lot of people are scared of the idea of committing to one. We're here to try and put that to bed.
The biggest thing for me is I've got kids, so I've got a family. I've got 2 boys.
Yep.
That kind of scares a lot of people away from being an apprentice because they think the pay is pretty bad.
Yep.
As long as you can budget, you can get around it. It's a bit different there because I've just gone a private mature age apprentice, so
Yep.
the pay is a bit better there.
Yeah, right.
And before that, I was with All Trades as one
Yep.
of their apprentices. So
Yep.
with them, basically you're never out of work. That's the
Yep.
that's the security buffer there.
Yeah. So if one job falls through or one employer or whatever, they'll just shift and move you around as you need to keep you working.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
so
essentially that keeps them earning money too. So
well, that's
Yeah.
it. They want to keep the money coming in. So there was a couple there where I was a bit picky with my bosses. I got some bosses that just wanted to use me as labour.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, nah, mate, it's not going to work. I won't be here next week. I'd tell All Trades, and then I'd be at a new boss, and
Yeah.
I found a real good boss, and long story short, I've now gone private with him.
Yeah.
So I'm now a private third year mature age apprentice with KBK Builders. Yeah, little shout out.
yeah, there we go.
So they've taken me on, and going private, it's a whole different world because I get paid above the ward rate now, but that's also if they go under, I go under. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
basically,
So how long were you with All Trades?
pretty much the first 2 full years of
Yeah.
my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
I've just gone third year. I'm like 3-4 weeks into it.
Yeah,
So,
okay, righto.
I'll have finished my apprenticeship with these guys, and stay on with them.
For sure. So how many employees do they have? Are they
They've got a crew of 8, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, right.
The framing crew, which I'm on at the moment, is like 5 guys.
Yep.
So
yeah, righto, that's good.
2 tradies, apprentice, and 2 labourers.
Yeah.
And we smash out houses in like 2.5 days.
So you're doing the 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom
Yeah,
sort of
the new bedroom. Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
we smash that out, and then they've got a cladding crew.
Yes.
That they come
Yep.
back, do the feats and that. That's a 3-man crew, sometimes 4, and then they've got
What are most of these new houses cladded with?
it's that lineal cement fiber stuff. It's good.
Oh yeah.
That James Hardy stuff. It's real
Yep.
good. Like it's strong, but like every man and his dog has been cutting it with a grinder.
Yes. Yep.
Dust has been going everywhere. I've
Yep.
done it myself for the first
Yeah.
2 years, and right now the silica dust is a pretty big important thing at the moment.
It is huge,
So-
mate. I recorded another podcast this morning with Makita Mick, and that was a big part of our conversation too. Like it comes up in most conversations now, you know, job-related conversations, how fast this whole dustless push is coming on, and it should, you know. It's silicosis is knocking off way too many people.
Yeah, well, they reckon it's going to be the next asbestos.
Oh, it
So,
already is, yeah.
we had Makita come out. They brought 2 cars out, and they did like a massive demonstration for us because
Yep.
we're looking at having to buy it because, well, not looking at, you have to now because
Yeah.
pretty much if you don't buy it, it's like, I think it's up to $5,000 per person not using it. So
We've got a guest coming on here soon that is going to clarify exactly, hopefully that's the idea, exactly what the legislations are, what these new things put in place are going to be. Yeah, so that'll be a good one.
yeah, that's going to be actually pretty handy because
Yeah.
a lot of the information is out there, but it's very scarcely spreaded.
I think because nothing has been set in stone yet as far as the new legislations go, as far as I know. So
Yeah, well,
it's hard to find out what.
What I know from what Makita told us is they've got the 3 classes of the dust
Yes.
extractors.
Yep,
So
yep.
L, M, and I think it's H for high. Basically, they want to abolish the L class, get rid of them.
Yep,
because they're
yep.
pretty much just vacuums.
Yeah, that's right. I can almost guarantee M will be like, that'll be the minimum.
Yeah, baseline.
But yeah, the I think the worry was making H the standard, but
yeah.
I don't think it will do that. No, because that'd be crazy.
Well, like they measured on particles in the air from what Makita was telling us,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. with America and that, like their standard is basically M. So
Yeah, righto.
the new DeWalt one, like that's what basically everyone will be going to, because that does the job. Like it's cordless, which is what everyone wants. That's what everyone's scared of at the moment. Is we're in a cordless world now, and hang on, we've got to go hook our cordless grinder up to a corded vacuum. What's going on there? So
it's going all right. We'll find out soon. Anyway, see what the go is. So what tools do you run?
I run a Milwaukee.
Do ya?
Yeah,
Your Team Red?
Them real tools, you know.
Yeah.
You can't buy them at Bunnings.
Most of you can't buy anything good at Bunnings. Most of the chippies we've had on here are Makita still. That I think that's an age thing. I was too.
Yeah.
When I started my apprenticeship, Milwaukee wasn't even in Australia. So
That's it. Don't get me wrong. Like Makita is up there. Like,
damn straight.
The only reason I went with Milwaukee is when I went to Brahma Tools, they were having a massive sale, and the rep was there, and he's like, "You buy this, and I'll give you this." So I bought that and got a couple $100 of free stuff.
Can't argue with that.
Pretty easy. You throw some money my way, and I'll go that way. But yeah, like Makita, like all the crew runs Hikoki and Makita, so they're like accessible. Like you can get them anywhere. So
yeah, that's right.
That's like the benefit.
How's that, mate? Touched on nearly all the platforms except poor old DeWalt.
We got DeWalt with the M-Class vacuum.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so we got them all, man.
Very good.
And when I started my apprenticeship, I had Ryobi. So,
did ya?
Yeah, I had Ryobi. It was from family brought me Ryobi, so I was like, I was loving it. I was like, go the Ryobi.
Casey was using Ryobi up until just recently, and every time I seen him pull out that Ryobi drill, I thought, "What are you doing, mate?"
Yeah,
I said, "It's just my destruction drill. It doesn't matter." And I said, yeah,
I don't care about it. Yeah, I seen whenever he pulled it out, like on the his Instagram page, it was like just made a mess of whatever he was doing.
It ended up actually snapping where the handle meets the body. I don't know if we should be really here bad mouthing Ryobi anyway. So you said you got a young family, mate, and how do you find the balance with work and the missus and the kids and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I have a 5-year-old boy. He's a terror at the moment, absolute terror. Like just energetic. He's actually very good, like behaved. And
how'd you manage that?
We got lucky. A lot of people tell us both our kids have never really cried, haven't really been screamers. Like
right.
We've been told by plenty of people, you've got kids that fool other people into having kids, and their kids are monsters.
I like that.
And
That's good.
I'm like, it's a win for me. It's a loss for them.
See, it's a big thing too, especially with on social media, on my own as well. You only show the good parts of having kids, you know, look how cute they are. And don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by them.
100%. Like if I was going to put anything up there, be the good shots. Be like, I wouldn't put the bad shots of him running around slapping me.
Right into your crutch.
Yeah. But yeah, like the biggest thing with being an apprentice and with the family, I would say would honestly be managing the sleep and that work lifestyle, like with the kids.
Yep.
The money, if you can budget, like you can do it. But yeah, the biggest thing is managing that family time. I kind of lost that at the start. I was doing a lot of overtime and a lot of weekend work, and basically neglected my family. And that was one of like the other subjects I was going to touch on. That pretty much led to a divide between me and the partner.
Yes.
And that made my mental health go downhill. So
yeah, for sure.
I was hating life, hating work. Got to the stage where I actually thought about like, what's the point of being here?
Yep.
Like I had nothing. I worked, went home, slept, worked, went home, slept. That was it. Like, so got to the point where I wanted to actually, think about leaving this plane of existence.
Yeah.
Nice term. Eventually, I met up with some good friends. Like they kind of seen that I needed the help. I didn't ask for it because men don't ask for help. Men don't need doctors.
That's a lot of the time that's just how it is, how it seems to be, unfortunately. But
that's it. That's the biggest thing. Like my dad and all that were always, men don't cry. You sound like a girl, don't cry. I was brought up like, men don't cry, men don't have feelings. And a couple of my friends actually pretty much brought me back from the edge. Basically probably saved my life, if I'm being bluntly honest. And ever since then, I've told myself, standard 5-day a week, I'll do a weekend every now and again. But family time now is important for me.
For sure.
Since having my second little boy, he's just turned 1, 100% clear difference from when I first started my apprenticeship. Like I make time for them now.
Yes.
Work doesn't become the priority.
See, time for me now too this job is more time demanding than any other job I've had. Like even, when I was doing 12-hour shifts, I've never had to watch a calendar and make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row. And that has been a little bit taxing. Just the transition from what I was doing to this has been a bit taxing on Crystal and I as well. Like it's sort of battling for attention from the kids and you know how it is, all that stuff. And then
mental side of it.
And it does drive a wedge in between you two. And if you don't if you're not proactive with it, that wedge just drives in further and further. And then, you just sort of isolate yourselves from one another because it becomes too big an issue to bring up.
Yeah, well, 100%. That's it. Like, I can see where you're going there because I used to do like computers and that, like technology for a job and stuff like that.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, right.
Like, I'm really good with technology, so I couldn't do the sitting behind the desk. I was like, oh, I want something different, so I went to being a carpenter, and like it's a really physical job.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you said, like going from that to this is a very mentally taxing job because you got to think about so much more. You got to organize so much more.
It's the organisation that is the trickiest part for me personally, but it's getting better. I'm working it out. I just adapt, mate. Adapt and overcome.
Wing it. Nothing a little drunk Friday can't fix.
Yeah, that's right.
Reset the clock.
Just thought I'd jump in here real quick, guys, to tell you a couple of things about our Renegade industrial air compressors. So they're manufactured right here in sunny Queensland. We've been proudly making them since way back in the 80s. In fact, the very first compressor made still works and sits proudly here in our head office. So when you buy Renegade industrial air compressors, you're buying long-lasting reliability. Anyhow, back to the podcast. Yeah, well, if you want to jump into that mental health a bit more, how did you come out of it, or I don't know the right terminology to use here, but
I'm fine talking about that. Like, it's one of my biggest things from actually suffering from it, and like I still get those days now. Like, actually, honestly, today was one of those days where I didn't want to get out of bed. I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, I had a friend as well who's gone through it, and he hurt his back.
Yes.
And so his career was basically he was going to be a bodybuilder and stuff like that. And like he was really good at it. Like won his first comp and all that, hurt his back, and he was not doing a good time in life and stuff like that. And he was always so positive and like everything. He was one of the main reasons that kind of got me to go, oh, hang on, like tomorrow is another day. Because he was always saying like, if you wake up on a bad day, make yourself breakfast, have a good breakfast, and start your day off good. So my personal way of getting over it was pretty, a lot of people would say simple. Yeah. But I started my day by getting up and I would make my bed. That was my first task I would accomplish. And I actually learned that from my stepdad because he was in the army. And he said, he goes, just make your bed. You've accomplished that first task of your day and you've started your day out winning basically. So
I've heard this thing as well, and I've actually used a similar sort of thing in the past, is stop giving yourself big goals that are hard to achieve. Like I need to be happier, like these big things, and put them down into small achievable goals. And then once you achieve that simple thing, like doing the dishes or whatever, once you get that done, boom, you get a reward from your brain.
Yeah, little steps.
And it starts building on that.
Well, I'm pretty big on that right now because originally, actually 5 years ago, because I've been with my partner just over 6 years. Yeah. So 7 years ago, I was actually homeless, living on the street.
Yeah, okay, right.
So I was in Mackay, living on the street, homeless with my family and that. So we had nothing.
Wow.
And we come back down here and I actually moved in with the missus. Yeah. And her family took me in. So they got me my license and basically I was like, oh, like I'm always going to be broke. Money's always going to be a problem. Yeah. And I kind of set like little goals. Like all my friends were out with new cars and all this. And I'm like, oh, I'd love a new car. Like who wouldn't? Like,
yeah, of course.
So I was like, oh, I can't realistically afford it right now. Like I don't want to go and get a loan. Yeah. Yeah. So I set like little goals. So my little goals for me, which was quirky, was, oh, I'll get a new tool next fortnight. Yeah. Get this next fortnight, or I'll take the missus to dinner or something like that. And then kids come along and bloody dinner. Dinner. And then kids come along and it was other little things like, oh, I'll just aim for the park or the movies and stuff like that. Yeah. And that was like one of the biggest things. It was setting those little goals that seem more achievable instead of going, oh, I want a car. Like,
and the longer it takes, the more your brain punishes you for feeling like you're failing at something rather than these victories along the way. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Like the last 12 months have been like just a lot of little victories, and I've just gone and hopefully looking at the car that I'm going to buy. So
very cool.
Getting one of those big achievements where I didn't think like this time last year I'll never be able to afford a car. I'd never be able to do that. So
yeah, well, that's pretty amazing, mate. Coming from a situation like that, you know, that's dire straits. You know, that's pretty hardcore.
Oh, like there was days there like where literally we were living off, like we'd have one loaf of bread for the week. Like it was,
wow.
And now money's still an issue because money's going to be an issue for everyone.
Always. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you earn.
If anyone tells you money's not an issue for them, they're lying, or they have an underground criminal ring.
Yeah.
So it's that was my biggest thing, was when I was feeling like I didn't want to be in this world. Yeah. So I was focusing on what everyone else had. Like,
and it is easy to get caught up in that mindset too. You know, you constantly, I think it's human nature to compare yourself to one another, you know, other people you see, and all of a sudden you're focused on what you don't have and what they do have, you know, but yeah, try and woo up for a minute and look at what you do have.
You just think yourself down into a cave.
For sure, absolutely.
And like, the hardest part is once you're down in that cave, you can't see the light.
Yeah.
So like that was when my friends were very good, and my partner's parents and that kind of brought me out of that cave. And now like I honestly take each day as it is. And my like brother, like he's just had a baby girl. She's 9 months now. Yeah. And she's just been told that she might not live to see 8. So,
no way.
Yeah, well, basically she was having seizures and that. So that was another pretty big kicker for me recently, where it's gone like appreciate life. So
for sure, absolutely, mate.
Like it's those little things. I go like, oh, like man, I want a car and all this and like that. But then like being told my niece won't see 8 maybe if she's lucky. Like I go, oh, like look how much I have. Like,
that's right.
I'm so ungrateful right now.
Big time, yeah. That's
so, like
it
was a big step back for me. Like slap in the face. Like hang on.
Perspective thought, eh? Like hold on, I'm here whinging about something that is so trivial compared to what is going on in other people's lives, you know, like,
well, that's it. Like it was a big, I needed that slap in the face till I reset my, direction and
for sure
perspective. So
yeah, there's always someone out there, doing it way tougher than us. You know, some people manage to get through things that you can't even, like I can't even imagine how hard it must have been for them, and just hats off to those guys, eh?
Oh, 100%, eh? Like every blue moon or so, if I have a couple extra dollars from doing overtime, I'll go through Macca's or something. Person in front of me, they're buying a coffee. Mate, I'll shout you a coffee, bro. If I'm feeling good for the day, and I don't do it all the time, like probably like once every 2-3 months. Yeah, because I feel really good, and I'm like, oh, bro, no, I'll pay for your coffee, bro. I got it.
I tipped an Uber. Gave an Uber driver a decent tip the other day because he gave me a high five when he got it, and I was like, that was cool.
It's those little
I'll give you a decent tip, mate. I like that.
Yeah, it was those little things. Like I had actually called a taxi back from the hospital the other day because I was in the hospital over the weekend. But
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I was in the hospital because I had they call it a Quincy. Is
that what it's called?
Yeah, Quincy.
A Quincy.
Yeah, it's the nickname for it. A Quincy.
Sounds like a dodgy pommy nickname.
Well, when they took me in there for it, I'm cutting the story short too. I'll butcher it, but tonsils, GP was wrong. Went to the doctors and they kept me in. They're like, you're not going nowhere.
So you were admitted to hospital?
Yeah, they admitted me overnight and for the whole day and that. And the nurse come over and she's like, oh, that's a Quincy. She got like 6 different people to come have a look at it because they hadn't seen one. Yeah. And I thought they were taking a piss. I'm like, Quincy, it's just tonsillitis. Like, come on, stop it, guys. I just want my antibiotics and I'll be out of here. And there's actually called a Quincy. Yeah. There's a bigger name for it, which I'm not even try. No. I'll butcher it. Yeah. But so yeah, like basically there's a big abscess in the throat, and it was like compressing like my arteries and all that sort of stuff, making it impossible to eat and that.
So it was like pushing on that carotid artery.
Yeah, carotid artery, like all under here, under my neck and like chin and that. And basically they
like
just
an internal choke out.
Yeah, pretty much. I was trying to. My body was trying to kill itself.
Yeah, so, far out.
So they ended up cutting the back of my throat and like relieving the pressure and like the pus. Oh man, in the back of my mouth, warm. Wow. That was pretty good. But I was leaving because they wanted to keep me in another night, and I was like, nah, I want to go home. I don't like hospitals. I don't want to be here. I'm fine. I'm not dead. And I left, and the taxi driver that picked me up. Yeah, I was like, oh man, I just been in a hospital. I'm hungry. I'll go get some food after home. He took me through the Macca's drive-through.
Yeah.
Like, it was that little thing because he wanted to buy me Macca's. So when we got home, I think the fare was like $15. So I just, because like, oh, here's 20, man. I had 20 in cash. So you've like made my day better.
That's what it's all about. Oh, well, lucky you end up going in to see the doctor, mate, because it sounds like if they're pushing on the carotid, that's pretty serious, eh?
Yeah, well, then the ear, nose and throat doctor, I think Kimberly was her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, oh, if you waited a couple more days, it probably would have it could have burst in your throat. And
toxic shock syndrome?
It would have been toxic shock septic or whatever it is. And
septicemia.
Had cut your throat, drained it all out. So I was whinging about having 2 days off work.
Yeah.
And it could have been much worse. And that was that's another one of those little perspective things. Turns out those 2 days were like a massive days at work. So the boys are like, oh, your dog does. Yeah. But yeah, I could have been in hospital for a few weeks. I could have been on the roof doing trusses and had it pop passed out. So
far out.
Those always those little things. Life teaches you, man.
Yes, you got to learn, mate. You got to learn from everything.
Yeah, like
I'm still trying to learn.
I gave up learning.
Yeah, well, I just.
Or was it measure once, cut 5 times?
Yeah. That's how I used to run it anyway. We do have a couple of rapid fire. We're just in a bit of a rush, guys, because we're going to have one of the guys lock us in head office. If the lights turn off in here, that means, old mate, shut it down.
Right. Don't move, actually, because the alarm will go off.
We got sentry guns posted around, so
renegade nail guns.
Our rapid fire questions. So first up, it's van or ute. What do you run?
Ute. Yeah. Ute. And I'm just about to get a D-Max. So
very nice.
Has to be dual cab because kids' responsibilities.
Yes, absolutely. Dad of the year over here, mate.
Yeah, mate. If you can make them, you got to look after them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Healthy wrap and salad or a meat pie sausage roll?
I'm a meat pie or sausage roll with an iced coffee, chocolate Smartie sauce. That's me tradie breakfast right there.
Here you going, mate. Get that up, yeah.
Throw in some chicken wings from the food van, mate.
And we this third rapid fire question, we've been trying to figure out what to ask. What does everyone do? How big's your hammer?
How big's my hammer? Oh, that's actually a pretty good one for the carpenters, eh? Yeah. A lot of people, I've got a 24 ouncer.
24?
Yeah, I started with a 15 ounce.
Whoa.
And all the guys are like, oh, that's a little girl hammer.
Yeah, 24 though, that's a big step up.
Yeah.
I run a 20. Yeah. And that's perfect for me.
Well, the 24 I find is actually pretty good for me because like I don't have to swing as hard.
Yeah.
To sink this.
Of course, because it's a monstrous hammer.
Like, I can do the Safits and that pretty good.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to like those Mark Martinez M1 hammers and that, like those $400 hammers.
Why?
And I'm sitting there going, I couldn't afford a $400 hammer.
Nah.
Why would you pay $400 for a hammer? But
I haven't even seen them.
They're really, really light. Apparently, they're only like 15 ounces.
Yeah, right.
All these chippies are getting these really, really, really light hammers.
Yeah.
But apparently, they're the bee's knees. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, how do you go from a heavy hammer hitting harder to they reckon the light hammer hits harder?
Yeah, righto.
There must be some math in there somewhere.
Sounds like voodoo to me, mate. But I'll have to look into it and see what the go is. I love the old S-wings, mate. They're my...
Oh, you can't beat it, S-wing, mate.
They're my go-to. All right, mate, let's wrap it up before we get locked in here.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good thing to do, eh? I'd love to spend the night here with the Cadillac, but...
Yeah.
You know, lay on the floor and cuddle up for warmth.
Yeah.
You know, survival.
All right, mate. Well, cheers for coming in. And I think we're heading the same way home, aren't we?
Yeah, back to Iffy, mate.
Ipswich, fellow Ipswichian.
Mate. Oh, you. Come on, Switch.
Stop being crap. Yeah. Get better. But you know what? We can blame the dodgy mayors and corruption and that. You know, us civilians are good. The rest of them, the people running the show.
They can't stop us all, right?
No, that's right. Jacob the Chippy on Insta, guys. Go and check him out. Let's get out of here.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
No worries. It was a pleasure. Well, there we have it. Another episode wrapped up, guys. I'd love to hear your feedback, and you can email me at tradio@tradetools.com or message the TradeTools social pages with any topics you'd like to hear about. And of course, be sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up to date. Until the next episode, see ya!